Hello guys and welcome back. Today we are going to be moving on to another topic on our full stack web development course. And today we are going to be talking about attributes in HTML. Attribute in HTML5. So what we are going to learn in this course is we are going to learn what HTML is, what HTML attribute is, the location where it is found, and some examples. So we are going to make this video short. So first, what is HTML attributes? So HTML attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. So this simply gives us some more information about an element in HTML. So it is always found in the start tag of what an HTML. And an attribute or an HTML attribute usually comes in name value pairs. So we will have a name and we are going to have what its value. So this name value is what we call the attribute. So of an HTML. Let's get started. Now here, I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to call it attributes.html. Now good. I've created a new file and I name it attributes.html. So the first thing we're going to do is what? We write out the structure of what our HTML. Good. So there's a way I did this now that in VS Code, we are using VS Code. So if you just type, let me delete this. If you type the exclamation mark and press enter, so it is going to give you the structure of what in HTML5. Now we can save. So before we move on to other examples, so there are some attributes here we can talk about, and which we are going to talk about in the examples will be given. So we say that an HTML attribute provides or gives more information about the HTML element. If you look at this first one, this second line, which is HTML element. So we have, it has an attribute called lang. So this means this attribute here, and it comes in what? Name. The name of the attribute is lang, and the value is what? This. And always it is recommended to always put the values of what? Of the name of an attribute, you put it in a double or single quote. This is recommended. So this is what we call attributes. So it is giving us more information about the elements. Which elements? HTML elements. So I can see in VS Code, one thing about this great tool is that it's going to tell you some hints about these attributes. When you place your cursor on any element or attribute, it's going to give you more information about it. According to VS Code, it says helps define the language of an element. I can say it means that this lang attribute is defining the language to be used in this particular document, in this HTML. So the language to be used here is English. So it is shortened to be EN, English. So, and let us continue reading from the VS Code. So it says it helps define the language of an element, the language that non-editable elements are in. So the language that non-editable elements are in, or the language that editable elements should be written in by the user. So the attribute contains one language tag made of hyphen separated language subtags. So it just so you cannot have multiple language for this. So you just have only one. So that is all about the attribute, and I hope you understand this. So the attribute is just giving. I can see this thing is this attribute here is giving us more information about this element, about this particular element. So it's telling, okay, this HTML should be rendered, the language that should be rendered in is what? English. I hope it is clear. And also we have another attribute here, and that is this. So you can see, so that is it, and it is what chassis. And chassis, this attribute declares the page character encoding. So this is a character encoding attribute. So it tells us which type of character encoding should we use for our document. So, and we should use UTF-8. UTF-8. We have others too. We have others, but let's go into the main example we're going to be talking about in this tutorial. So, and this is, we need to learn this fast before moving on to our other subtopics, because we need to understand attributes before we go on, and that is why we are trying to do this now. So the first attribute we are going to be talking about is the word the ref attributes. The ref attributes. So we are going to be talking about the ref attributes. And the ref attributes, so it's one of the attributes we use in our anchor tag. So our anchor tag, we are still going to talk about our anchor tag, and anchor tag is used as a link. So anchor tag is used as a link. So, and the attribute specifies the URL of the page the link goes to. So for example, our anchor tag is just our normal A tag. And if one thing about that's why this tool is good, what is it called? vscode. If you just type A and press enter, so I can see it is going to give you the full elements. So which is the anchor element, the anchor tag. And in it, we have an attribute, the ref attribute, which we want to discuss first. So this attribute will tell us more information. I can, we said that the ref attribute, the attribute of an HTML defines or gives more information about what? An element. So this ref attribute is what telling us more about this anchor tag. So what is it? What is it telling us? It is telling us, it's telling us where to what send this link, where this link should be sent, and the URL we are going to use for this link. And let us over it and see what VS Code have to tell us. So this attribute contains a URL or a URL fragment that the hyperlink points to. So this thing is going to be telling us the URL of where this link is pointing to. For example, I have on my document, okay, let's do for example. So we already know about the P tag, the paragraph. So I have something like this paragraph, and you can visit Webtekhy. You can visit Webtekhy. For more information. Sorry, there was a mistake here. So now this thing I have here is telling us, okay, you can visit Webtekhy. So one thing we are going to learn here is that we can put, there are some tags we can put inside of another tag. So one of it is an anchor tag. You can put an anchor tag into another tag. Are you getting it? You can put an anchor tag into another element. So this is correct and very well okay. So, and this thing is simply telling us that you can visit Webtekhy for more information. So now what I want to do is that I want to point to Webtekhy, because if I just leave it like this, because I've not specified any value to this ref attribute. So I've not specified any value. So I should leave it like this. This will not, it is not pointing to anywhere because there's nothing, there's no URL here. And we say that the ref attribute contains a URL, so that the hyperlink points to. So for me to point to Webtekhy, so I can just do something like, okay, put the URL of the place I'm pointing to. So I'm pointing to this website. I'm pointing to this website. So it means that this anchor link is pointing to this website, the Webtekhy website. And if I should save this, let's save it and check this. So let's save, I've saved. And so one thing you can do, you can use your live server, open with live server, or you use copy path. So you can open with live server. If you want to open with live server, you have to install the extension in your what? In your VS Code. You have to install that. I think we've done that in our previous class. So you have to install that. So, and for this class, I'll be using my live server to view this. So I should click on this, and now I can see it is not visible on my web browser, and that is on my browser. And you can visit Webtekhy for more information. I can see the word in between the anchor tag. Look how it is different from others. So look how it is different from others. It is different from others in the sense that if you notice, if you place your cursor on it, it is showing a pointer that, okay, you can click on this. And if you look at the rest has nothing like that. So I can see. So this is one way. This is how the anchor tag work. And if you click on it, it will take you to the what? To the URL, because you are pointing to that URL. So you click on it, it's going to take us to what? Webtekhy. Have you seen it? So this is so let's go back. And now another anchor tag, another attribute we can learn is also, sorry, this should not be there. So maybe we should talk about the alternate attribute also. And the alternate attribute tells us more information about an image. So and it is usually used in what? On an image tag. And we use, let's say, image. Now I can see we have for images. So it is these two attributes are crucial when you are using what? Your image tag. The source attribute and the alternate attribute. So let's see what the alternate attribute is telling us. So this attribute defines an alternative text description of the image. So in some cases, you are using the image attribute, image tag, sorry, and you have to specify, because in some cases, your image will not be shown. Maybe it is removed or something like that. So for you to let somebody know what the alternative text for this image, maybe you are displaying an image of your logo, for example. So let's say, okay, and I'll put the alternate text for it as my logo, for example. So maybe forgetfully, I did not put this source is the image URL. So the place the image URL you are going to get the image from. So this is the source. So it is named the source attribute. So we are still coming back to that shortly. So but now I did not put anything in the source attribute. If I just save this and view in my browser, since I'm using live server, it is going to automatically show, because it is going to, as I'm saving, it's going to be refreshing itself. And I can say we have my logo. This my logo is the alternate text because the image is not specified. So the image is not specified. But if I should specify the image, for example, let me copy an image from the internet and let me see. Okay, let me use this one, and if there's any image, okay, let me copy this image, the URL. So let me just copy image address. Good. So copy image address, and let me insert it here. So we are still coming back to source attributes, but it may not be for this lesson, but this is just an example. So I can say this is, I've copied the URL of the image I want to show. The image I want to show, not the image I'm pointing to, Pointing to means you are using ref, but the image, the link of the image you want to apply, you want to use. So you are going to use source. So it means that when you save this and go back to our browser, so I can see we have this, and I can see that text, that alternative text is no more showing because the image is appearing. Do you understand? So, and this the alternative attribute is very crucial, is very crucial for some screen readers and some others who will be unable to view what images. So it is very important to put it as an attribute to your image tag. So we've talked about the ref attribute, the alternate attribute, and the lang attribute also. So, and we'll stop here for today. We have many attributes. We cannot discuss all, but we are going to be seeing them as soon as we move on with our classes. As soon as we move on with our classes, we are going to be using more of the attributes. And also, these attributes are also important when we are using when we come to what CSS. So we'll get back to that later too. So this is where we are going to end today's class. So I hope this is clear and understandable. And please, if you have any question, kindly comment below and let me know how I can help. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.